What if I told you that almost everything you think is real isn't? Not because you're dreaming, not because of some sci-fi simulation, but because your brain is lying to you right now. You're not seeing the world as it is. You're seeing a version of it, warped by biology, emotion, memory, and evolution. And here's the shocking part. This isn't a glitch. It's by design. Scientists estimate that over 90% of the global population walks through life never realizing this, never questioning how much of their reality is actually an illusion crafted for survival, not for truth. So if you're ready to uncover the hidden machinery behind your perception, like this video, subscribe to the channel and get ready, because once you see the glitch, you can't unsee it. Let's begin with your eyes. You probably believe they work like tiny biological cameras, capturing the outside world in full detail and projecting that image into your brain. But that's not how vision works at all. Your eyes don't see reality. They collect scattered fragments, tiny bursts of photons, changes in light, patterns of movement, and variations in color. That's it. Raw, messy data. The real seeing happens in your brain, and what your brain does is cheat. It throws away most of what your eyes take in. It compresses, distorts, and reinterprets that data into something faster and more useful. It fills in gaps where nothing exists. It erases things you didn't focus on. It takes guesses based on past experience and presents you with a clean, 3D model of what it thinks is there. It's not a recording of the world, it's a simulation. That tree you see outside your window, you're not actually seeing the tree. You're seeing your brain's best effort icon for tree, a symbolic stripped-down version that your mind can process instantly. Because your senses weren't built for truth. They were built for survival. In nature, it's far more important to know whether you can climb the tree or whether a predator is hiding behind it than to perceive every leaf and texture in photorealistic accuracy. You don't need the world as it is. You need the world as it matters to you. And so evolution designed your eyes and your brain to lie, efficiently, beautifully, constantly. That's not a glitch in the system, it's the reason the system works. Evolution doesn't care if you see the truth. It only cares if you live long enough to pass on your genes. So instead of evolving to perceive reality as it is, humans evolved a cheat code, a mental interface that shows us what's practical, what helps us survive, avoid pain, seek pleasure, and react fast. We see colors that don't exist. We hear tones that our brain reshapes. We remember events wrongly but confidently. It's like a VR headset you were born with, one that simplifies the chaos of the world into something you can handle. But the more you trust it blindly, the more disconnected you become from what's really happening. Ever looked at an optical illusion and thought, how is my brain falling for this? Because it's doing exactly what it was designed to do. Make assumptions. When you see a shadow and your brain corrects for color, when a flat image looks 3D, when your mind hears words in static noise, you're watching the illusion in action. But it's not just optical illusions, it's emotional ones, cognitive ones. Memories can be altered just by suggestion. Eyewitnesses remember crimes that didn't happen. Time itself stretches and compresses based on context and stress. Your reality is not objective. It's a carefully constructed hallucination, shared by most, questioned by few. Most people, roughly 90% based on multiple cognitive studies, go through life without ever questioning their perception. They trust what they see, what they remember, what they feel. But the human brain isn't a camera. It doesn't record facts, it builds narratives. We misremember details from just moments ago. We confuse dreams with memories. We emotionally edit experiences to fit what we want to believe. Over time, these glitches become your reality. Your mind isn't just interpreting the world, it's inventing it, and yet we rarely notice. We build identities around these illusions. We defend them, we argue over them, we make laws and start wars over them. But at the core, we're all just defending personal edits of a shared world. That's why two eyewitnesses can tell completely different stories about the same event. Why families, nations, even entire cultures can't agree on what's real. We aren't fighting over facts. We're fighting over versions of the truth, filtered, biased, and deeply personal. And if you never stop to question it, you stay inside the simulation. A prison made not of walls, but of assumptions, but of... Now imagine this. You're not seeing the world. You're seeing a user interface, a skin, a simplified overlay. According to the interface theory of perception, developed by cognitive scientist Donald Hoffman, your brain evolved not to show you truth, but to show you what's useful. It's like the desktop on your computer. When you click on a folder icon, you don't see the circuits, wires, or electrical impulses behind it. You just see the image, the shortcut, the illusion. Your brain works the same way, that tree, that chair, that face in the mirror. They're not objective realities, they're survival icons, simplified interpretations of something far more complex. Your perception isn't a transparent window to reality, it's more like a beautifully animated screensaver. Clean, intuitive, safe, but it hides the raw data, the chaotic quantum soup underneath. This changes everything. It means that what we call reality might just be the skin of something unfathomable. We're not observers of the universe. We're users, limited by biology. Our brains are not designed to see truth, they're designed to keep us alive, and that means we could be living in a world we'll never truly see. So what now? If our senses are unreliable, if our memories glitch, if reality itself is just a symbolic interface, are we doomed to live in illusion forever? Not necessarily. There's a way out. And it starts with a question. What if I'm wrong? That tiny crack in certainty is the first real step toward freedom, because once you see the filter, once you realize your emotions, reactions, and thoughts are shaped by invisible patterns, you can begin to slow down, to question that flash of anger, to ask why you remember something so vividly, but someone else doesn't, to notice when your brain is filling in gaps just to make a story make sense. This is the path of the 10%. The curious ones, the misfits, the skeptics. They train their minds not to react but to reflect, not to assume but to explore. And the truth is, once you start down that path, there's no going back, because seeing through the illusion, even once, changes you. It makes you aware, and that awareness becomes a kind of superpower. It won't show you the full truth, but it will show you that there's something behind the curtain, and that's where real thinking begins. Maybe we'll never see the full picture. Maybe reality in its rawest form is simply too strange, too alien for our minds to process. But what we can do is learn to see ourselves more clearly, to question, to doubt, to stay curious. Because the illusion isn't just out there, it's in here, in the way we process every moment. And sometimes simply realizing that is enough to change everything. So here's my question to you. Have you ever had a moment where you caught your brain lying to you? Where something you believed, remembered, or felt turned out to be completely false? Share it in the comments. I'd love to read your story. And if this video opened a door in your mind, even just a crack, smash that like button, subscribe for more. Because the truth isn't just stranger than fiction, it's hiding in plain sight. And the first step toward seeing it is asking the right question.